You're on the video, sir, already.
Oh, I guess I just have to look at the.
Oh, here we go. All right. Hey, we are cooking with gas. Tommy is recording the call. Welcome to the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am one of your hosts, the producer Anthony, along with Tommy Guns and T Monies, coming at you video style. We're beginning to integrate the video and, of course, the audio that you'll be able to get on iTunes and Podbean. So, thank you for checking out this brand new episode of the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. Subscribe on Podbean and on iTunes. We're talking everything between pro wrestling, our favorite recipes, almond milk, and everything in between. So how you guys doing? What's up? Welcome to the show.
What's
We're back
up?
after
Doing
2 months, man.
Yeah, doing the live snap right now. Hey,
Oh,
Snapchat,
snap.
go listen to our show on all those things that he just said, which you didn't hear because there's no sound. So YouTube, Podbean, iTunes, Facebook, YouTube, everything, anything you can think of.
Facebean, Tweet Street, all those places.
Napster, Netscape, Friendster.
Rhapsody, Real Music Player, you know.
Do you still have your Zune?
I do actually. Actually, I think it's right here.
Why do you have it so close? Why would you need it that close to your desk?
Oh, because I listen to it sometimes.
How many tracks can it hold? Like 50?
The problem is now I can't get tracks off of it.
Oh.
So that's it, dude. Like I've tried plugging it in, use a Windows desktop or whatever, and even if I plug it in USB, it's like Windows like we don't even know what to do with this.
You just plug it into your N64 and see what happens.
There's no USB.
There's no USB on the N64?
I can't. I would try, but so yeah, whatever I've put on there, that is it. That is a time capsule.
Oh,
And it still works, man. I can send tweets from that thing. I can go on the internet. I can listen to the radio.
Wait, what? It could do all that? I didn't know that.
Yeah, man. That was like I could play chess. I think it was like way ahead of its time. Just nobody bought into the Zune player.
Except you and Star-Lord, man.
Except for me and Star-Lord, man. I'm I'm in the future. Future man.
Future bright. Theron has a Shawn Michaels shirt on, so I guess he doesn't like Bret Hart anymore.
Wait, what? Did I ever say that I like Bret Hart?
You've clearly just had, I thought we had this debate like 3 months ago in the beginning of quarantine, Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels, long time ago.
Did I side with Bret Hart?
I don't know, man. I was started with Shawn Michaels, but then we talked about it, like more like kind of like Bret Hart.
I take Shawn Michaels. He's more of my lifestyle. He's a rebel without a cause, and he's bald now, which I will soon be.
He's a cowboy, dude.
He's also a cowboy, yes.
Steel horse he rides, and he's wanted.
Yes. Wait,
Dead or
wanted?
alive?
By who?
Everyone, dude.
John Bon Jovi, probably.
Oh my goodness. Good stuff. So, Great American Bash is tonight. I know we have some other things Tommy wanted to talk about, but real quick, definitely looking forward to it. So after the podcast, definitely gonna do some editing, of course, and then check out some. As Tommy put it, as Gab. Check out some of that Gab action.
Yeah. Wait, what's Gab?
Great American Bash.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, good old Gab.
I watched the main event. It was good.
Oh, don't tell me. You saw the Adam Cole Keith Lee match already?
I wouldn't even have to tell you. You should already know. But yeah, I did.
I don't. The thing is, I don't know. I heard something leaked, and I haven't seen it. So as of this very moment, I'm very naive. I do not know who wins that match.
Yeah, both AEW and NXT's like matches leaked, and like we're all over like pro wrestling.
Oh wait,
Twitter.
AEW's match leaked also.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, all the results. Yeah.
Talk about Jericho versus Cassidy.
Yeah,
Fresh
man, the people
squeeze
were doing
OJ?
that on. Yeah, people were doing that on purpose. Like NXT fans were like leaking AEW results, and AEW fans were leaking NXT results. This is like what would be the Monday Night Wars if we had the internet, dude. Just a bunch of assholes being assholes, and yeah, that's like think maybe that hid the assholeness of everything because we didn't have a quality internet back then or Twitter.
Are we still on Podbean?
Of course, we're on Podbean.
Yes,
We
man.
I'm
love
just making sure I'm doing a shameless plug.
We're on Podbean. We're on iTunes. We're on Facebook. We're on Twitter.
Man, Theron totally froze, man. He talked so much smack before about his new Cat 5 cable and his 50-inch pythons of worth of Cat 5 cable running through his house, and now he's just been frozen.
Oh,
live
you
on
know what
Skype.
happened? Bret Hart pulled the plug.
That's the wherever he's in Frisco screw job.
The Bros Before all about screw job. Theron screwed Theron.
Yeah, man, I love his reaction, man. He's stone cold killer right there.
Oh man, that's funny. I hope he comes back, but in the meantime, almond milk.
Yeah, almond milk. Well, you said you were gonna chug a glass of almond milk, man. You just drink almond milk just by itself, or do you actually put in smoothies?
Actually, kind of both.
You drink it by itself, man?
Yeah, sometimes I'll drink a glass of almond milk. Why not? Right? Isn't that what it's for?
I think so. They're left the chat. Oh man. Hopefully he's still recording his audacity.
So you're oh man. Yeah, hopefully he's still recording it. So wait a second. So you're a full blown vegan and you don't even drink almond milk by itself?
No, man. Why would I do that, man? I think
Why not? What?
It's better than coconut milk or soy milk or rice milk. Those are really gross. And then there's pea milk, which made of pea protein.
Oh, is that good?
Well, how do you milk peas? I don't know, man. I keep getting smaller and smaller things to like milk, man. Start with the coconut. I mean, goes down to a grain of rice, goes down to freaking almonds, and then going into peas, man. It's technology, man.
Crazy. Actually, speaking of coconut, I'm drinking coconut LaCroix.
LaCroix.
Sorry, I always squeeze my can.
It's LaCroix. God, Theron's rebooting his computer live from the thread. Well, my computer is rebooting. Be right there.
Oh, you know what it is? That Windows update.
Windows update. He'll be back at the back half of the show, ready for a soapbox.
Probably. But what else was on your outline? So what was it, like NXT or something? Something you want to talk about NXT?
If this is Theron's unavailable. Man, I just think I want to talk about. We were talking about the thread. We're just like the death of Ruby Riott, Shayna Baszler, and Ricochet. Like they all had good NXT careers. They get called to the main roster. Like, what's the solution? Is there a solution to this problem of getting called up from the NXT and just being like lost or being like not? I mean, it took Apollo Crews 4 years, and he finally wins a belt, and he finally had his like a little time to himself. But like, what is there a solution? Is it the roster just too crowded? There's not like rotating people enough. Like, they just bring everyone up and just don't put anyone down, or don't like I don't like know what's the solution? Because like a lot of like. Those are three talented people, and those are just three examples. EC3, of course, is being the biggest example.
Right. He's not even there anymore.
Yeah, so yeah, he might go to TNA, they said.
Oh, he's going back?
Back to Impact, yeah.
Oh, man. I hope he just picks up where he left off.
Like nothing happened. Wakes up from a coma. But yeah, is there like a solution? Is there? I mean, I'm willing to hear it, man. I'm just tossing out ideas, but I don't know.
To me, the solution is like there has to be a preset. Okay. Here's my observation, right? They're incredible in NXT, right? Ruby Riott, Ricochet, which by the way, Ricochet is a pretty cool 365-day documentary.
Did you watch it?
I did.
So I didn't want to watch it, man. It just seems so depressing. What did he do in the last year? Except lose to Brock Lesnar in Saudi Arabia. That's his only highlight.
He shows his matches with like Adam Cole when he wins the North American title. Talks about like kind of like how quickly he kind of came up in NXT. So yeah, he had a killer run. Excuse me, at NXT.
Yeah. And
after the whole Brock Lesnar thing, like basically he like plateaued. But the thing that so my observation is this with a lot of that talent. Is they crushed it in NXT, and the main roster folks, whoever decides, like, ooh, these guys are really, really good, like they're ripe for picking, but they didn't have like a meal plan for them. So it was just we're picking this ripe talent. What a cool idea! What a cool concept to take Ruby Riott. What a cool concept to take Ricochet, and but we have nothing on the menu for them. we don't know what to cook with them. We don't know who to pair them with. But in theory, like, right, like what cool ingredients.
Yeah.
So that's kind of my thing. The solution is have something on the menu for them. Like if you're gonna pull up someone, like for example, like let's say they pull up Adam Cole, right? The right way to do it is, have him fight somebody already formidable. right? Have him beef with like, Kevin Owens, or have him beef with Daniel Bryan, or have him beef
Oh my
with
gosh, so many dream
AJ
matches.
Styles. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like put them in a dream match scenario so that way even if they don't win the match, they can still get over. Instead of putting them there, everybody's happy that they showed up. Like, oh, this is on the menu now. Like, oh, this is so cool. But then they're fighting with nobody, or they have no storyline,
Hmm.
or they're just taking up space. So I think the solution is there has to be a plan in place on how to use the talent accordingly versus just taking them when they're hot and ready, and then that's a great way to put it. That just came to mind. Um,
Is it more? Is it more
WWE.
food analogy?
It is. It is. WWE, Raw and SmackDown, it has treated Ruby Riot, friggin' Apollo Crews, Ricochet, EC3 like the $5 hot and ready, right? It is delicious. It is so tasty, but it has a half life of 7 minutes. So if you don't eat it in less than 7 minutes, it just goes immediately stale and it turns into cardboard and you just don't even want to eat it anymore.
It's not even 7 minutes from when you open the box. It's 7 minutes from when you leave the store. It's like you walk out of that Little Caesars like like little like laser aura like biodome later, and then you have 7 minutes to get home. Like start eating it in the car, dude. Just start shoveling it in your mouth like while you're
That's
driving
it,
down the freeway. You're just gonna be way out because by the time you get home, it's gonna be done. It's gonna be done.
right? So you have to eat it in the parking lot, or to try to maximize biodome, before getting kicked out, is trying to eat the pizza in the lobby.
Why did Little Caesars never have any like sit down areas? They just not want people loitering.
They don't want people loitering, and you expose their biodome. There's a pizza secret, dude, a pizza shroud.
When you're eating Little Caesars next to someone, you realize how crappy it is. But when you're eating it by yourself, it's like, yeah, not too bad.
So good. So, real quick, Theron, make sure you're still recording on Audacity if whatever happened.
We already covered that, and yeah, it seems to be recording. Yeah, we're good.
Good. Okay, good.
So y'all are talking about how WWE wastes its talent. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, mostly NXT talent, man. There's like a solution because there's like so many people like Ricochet, Riot, Baszler. We said EC3 a little bit, mentioned EC3 as well. Like so many talented people in NXT, and they called up. What happens? Like, and then like I said, at Apollo Crews, it took like 5 years or 10 years for him to finally get something to go in, and they just wasted him away on the main roster forever. So like, is there a solution? Is there like there's too much? There's not enough rotation between the rosters? Is there this? They just don't know how to use them right, or because different writers between NXT and Raw and SmackDown? Like, is there a solution you can find, or
Kanye West for head of creative?
Oh my god!
I'm just kidding. I just had
my god!
He's announced that he wants to run for presidency, which is astronomically asinine, but nonetheless,
worst birthday party ever. Worst last minute phoned in birthday party. So cheesy, so tacky, so just whatever, dude. Just pile it on. 2020 gravy, just pile it on. Might as well, right? Right.
I don't know what the solution is, man. I mean, you can go all the way back to like when like Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Kenta showed up in NXT. Hideo Itami didn't really get a fair shake because he got hurt a lot. Now he's back in New Japan doing his thing in the Bullet Club. Kevin Owens, I mean, he's had an okay run, but I feel like they could have done more with him. Sami Zayn was cool. Then COVID happened. We'll just wait to see what happens. But going back to those guys, and then coming to now like the Ricochets of the world, the Ruby Riots of the world. Like, why do you just? How come these talents do so well on NXT, which I wouldn't even call like a minor league anymore? I would say they're pretty much on the same level with what the content is compared to Raw and SmackDown, right? I think you would just have to get Vince McMahon out of like the last call. I think he would have to be moved from his position as a person to make the final call. Now, I don't agree with everything Heyman did while he was in charge. Like some of the storylines were stupid, but again, I feel like they could have done a lot better stuff than just letting these talents waste away. Like I worry about Matt Riddle. I worry about Adam Cole. I think maybe Adam Cole should not go up, or maybe he should. I don't entertain other options. His contract's up in August, right? So like. It's
That's
like
crazy.
you don't want to go to the main roster right now. Like the only person I can think of that's been successful lately would probably be like obviously Bailey and Sasha and Charlotte, and then like Drew McIntyre. Like that's the last person I could think of that was an NXT champion. Like Andrade, not so much. Aleister Black, not so much. You know, like I just
What about like Asuka or Becky?
okay. Asuka's doing her thing. Becky's having a child. Um, I just you got to get Vince out of there, man. You got to get Triple H making that call, or whoever's made the call for the coolest storylines you think you've seen in the last like 5 years should be that. That should be the person. I don't know.
That's not gonna happen, dude. Vince McMahon is gonna like be that Simpsons character, Futurama character that transplants his head into a jar and will live forever, and he will always have the final say. But I feel you though. But that goes along with what I was saying, which was they don't have anything for the talent when they show up. They're hot in the streets in NXT. They are better than $5 Hot and Ready. They are like old school Pizza Hut pizza where you get the scorching hot, skillet on your table with the red plastic cups and your stars for reading your books. Like best experience ever. And then you leave and you go to freaking.
They still do that, man. They still get that Pizza Hut for reading books. Dominic got it like a couple of years ago, and he still talks about it.
Oh,
nice.
What? He really still got it. They got a free pizza, like pizza. He's like, yeah, I'll take a pineapple on mine. I'm like, oh, all right, man, bold choice, bold choice. And he's still talking.
Hawaiian.
Right, dude? You get the little button, and then you fill it with stars. You get X amount of stickers or something.
Yeah, I got like a coupon book, and he's like, yeah, I got like one free pizza, man. He was hyped. Yeah.
Point in case. Great memories, fantastic memories, Pizza Hut memories. Can't let them go, right? But then when you go to the supposed big leagues, right, SmackDown, Raw, you turn into a $5 Hot and Ready.
Yeah, how does Ricochet turn into I think he was the hottest free agent whenever he was a free agent.
Again, there was no plan for it. There was no. Again, it was ripe for this. You probably missed this because you were Skyping out or rebooting. But I had said that the talent is so ripe for the picking that Raw and SmackDown picks them, but didn't have a menu for them. They didn't have a way to like cook them or pair them with people. So it was like you have this really cool concept of taking this really good talent, but they didn't have anywhere to go or do anything. And so they just sit there and ferment. And then when you do put them into some sort of storyline, it's like it seems like it's phoned in and not even appropriate to the character and legacy they had previous. So it's almost like they try to reboot them when they get to Raw and SmackDown and like essentially kind of take them down a peg, which sucks because you don't want to see someone like our biggest fear, right? Like we don't want to see Adam Cole, right, jobbing to the Colognes, right?
Oh, jeez.
You know what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? It sounds so asinine, but it can happen, right? Mm-hmm. Like time and time again, it's happened. So that's like the biggest fear. But again, I just don't think that they had a storyline. So the solution, again, going back to it, is you got to have them. There has to be something ready for them. If you're going to take them, then have a cool, appropriate storyline that's fitting for their character, fitting for their journey and their story.
Is there this roster just too big, or just hoarding too much talent? Is like when because I feel like they bring up 5 guys, but they don't push down 5 guys or move over 5 guys.
I don't think so anymore. I mean, they fired like 55 people, or what? I don't know the numbers. I'm not exactly sure. That's a made up number. Okay. They got rid of, I guess, what they would consider all the dead weight, right? A lot of those guys are going to show up in other places. They kept Drake Maverick. He's got a cool story going with the League of Phantasm or whatever it's called. They just Vince McMahon, man. It's him. It's got to be him. I just, I don't know which storylines he's behind. I don't know which calls he's behind.
Everything. I feel from what I heard, it's like everything. It's like someone said like there's like a story today, like one of those like you see like on Twitter, like Vince McMahon behind Otis's push, and then like Ryan Satin or Ryan Satan, whatever. Yeah, whatever his name is. He retweets like Vince McMahon's behind every push. He gets the final say on everything. It's like anyone who gets pushes, he has the final say on. So it's like anything that happens, it's like Daniel Bryan run to WrestleMania, CM Punk's pipe bomb, John Cena being John Cena, Roman Reigns, AJ Styles when he had his run. It's all Vince McMahon at the end of the day. So
can't talk about Roman Reigns anymore. So he had the final say on the Shayna Baszler push that was Nick, like at first, like when she first came up and she like destroyed however many people in the Elimination Chamber in less than 30 minutes.
That was back in February, man. That really seems like 10 months ago.
Oh, there was a crowd at that show.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it was one of the last. Right. Was that the last shows or a March pay-per-view they did? I don't think so.
Oh,
in March, I don't remember. Yeah.
Mania after that, because she won and then she got the title shot and then she lost. And I was like, okay, that's cool. Yeah. No, it's fine. You can lose. She'll just win Money in the Bank. And then I think she was supposed to, and then she didn't. And now she's on Main Event. It's like, maybe because Ronda Rousey took a break, Becky Lynch is on a break. Maybe Vince had this vision when he got these women to do this 4 horsewomen angle, but they never did it. Maybe that was in the plans for this year. Maybe now that, Becky's on the hiatus, Ronda may never come back. Who cares if she does or doesn't, whatever. Maybe he just was like, yeah, I don't really like her. I don't know. I've heard it was something to do with her character, her look. She's not typical woman.
How does he not know, though, dude? They've had, literally, she was in NXT for 3+ years, man. It's like the WWE's, the one who drafts the people in the first round, and then they take a turn bust into their own picks. You've studied this person in college, and you watch all the film study on them. You watch them do the combine. You watch them take all your tests, and you bring up to your team, and then you just, I don't know what to do with you. Go play a different position.
All of them?
Yeah. Go play a different. Go play a different position. Go if you're offense, go play defense. If you've never been a kicker, go be a kicker. They just don't It's just. I think it's come down to management, bad coaching. Maybe that's it on the main roster. That's the problem.
Could be. Could be.
You got to think on Raw, their main stories involved. Well, they got Seth Rollins versus Rey Mysterio. Then you got Big Show versus Randy Orton.
That's a problem.
Exactly.
Big Show versus Randy Orton.
He was on Netflix. Now he's all of a sudden back, and he's mad at Randy Orton because. Then you got
anyone else in that spot. I think even Randy Orton should be a specialty case, man. He had his awesome feud of Edge. Go take 4 or 5 months off. Come back after SummerSlam, dude. You're a legend. You're a legend killer. Give someone else TV time.
Big Show.
Yeah, but not Big Show.
Then it's MVP and Bobby Lashley. And then you got obviously in the women's division.
MVP and Bobby Lashley, old school guys.
Right? I know it's all old school. That's what I'm saying. Everyone that's getting a push, that's looking strong, whether they win or lose, is all guys from back in the day. And I'm like, dude, we've seen a lot of these people already. What's up with the new talent? When are we gonna see them? When are we gonna get their cool storylines? Who's gonna be the next villain of the next 10 years?
Past their half-life, dude. You should eat that pizza quick. Should have ate that pizza fast, man.
Yeah, you can't reheat a hot and ready. Everyone knows
that. Gross, dude. Ew.
Dude, what has the worst half-life? McDonald's fries or
McDonald's
pizza?
Fries.
Those turn from 0 to 60, man. You get them right in the fast food thing, and they're in the drive-thru. Man, they're delicious. But literally, 2 hours later, they're you can't even eat them, dude. It's crazy.
No, McDonald's fries, dude. 30 seconds.
30 seconds.
Once they're not piping hot anymore, they're just whatever, dude. They're confetti. They're trash.
Even as a kid, you learn that, man. No matter how much ketchup you put on them, your Happy Meal is screwed if you don't pay attention to it in the moment.
The burgers, at least you could wait I don't know, however long, a couple years, and then bite into it, be like, oh yeah, it's still good. But the French fries, dude.
I don't French think you can bite into a McDonald's fry a burger after a couple of years.
Yeah, well, that guy put it in a jar and it looked the same.
Oh shoot! Oh, it was the fries and the nugget. Okay, yeah, you're right.
Didn't
you're right.
mold or anything. That was disgusting.
Yeah.
Yoga mat preservatives are you putting in there, dude, to make that happen?
That was Subway, dude.
Yeah, Subway grinding up yoga mats and putting the bread.
Yeah, bleaching bread, freaking.
Dude, I haven't been in the Subway in maybe 5 years, and I can still smell the smell of the Subway.
Right?
It smells like bread.
Yeah, it smells like bread and lettuce, man. Yeah.
It's the Subway cologne. If you ever eat in there, you walk out smelling like Subway, dude.
And onion. Probably
just stays in your clothes.
Oh.
They should have a Febreze scented Subway.
Yeah, man, Subway scented candle. I think you're onto something.
Spencer should sell it.
Does Spencer still exist?
I don't know.
So.
I have no idea who's existing in malls, or whether or not malls even exist.
Sam Goody, Virgin Megastore.
Gosh.
Virgin Megastore. I remember that place live at Arizona Mills Mall.
Rainforest Cafe, $50 steak.
Oh my god!
It's still there, man. They still have the crocodile right up front.
Are you serious?
Yeah, man. Still does the freaking mist every
Yeah, dude, they don't recycle that water. I don't think. It's gross. They're changing.
Are there fish in that water? I don't remember.
There's a fish tank, yeah, in the middle of their thing. There's a big tube fish tank where you can buy your overpriced Rainforest Cafe merchandise. Arizona doesn't change too much, man. Really hasn't.
Yeah, right. Right.
No need to adapt with the times.
What else? What else we got on the agenda?
What happened to us the last 2 months?
Fire Vince McMahon. What
did we do in May and June besides Anthony having a birthday?
We didn't do anything.
I think we did a show.
I know we didn't do a show. That's the point. What happened? Did we miss anything in the world?
We were waiting on the Cat 5 cable. Yeah, that's all I got.
We took a break. Our last episode was just us talking about wrestling and N64, No Mercy, and us becoming friends.
Nothing really.
That's right. Yeah, the reminiscing episode.
Yeah, there was nothing to talk about. There was no cool wrestling news that happened besides nothing.
Besides complaining of the fact that wrestling didn't shut down.
Yeah.
And it was forcing these storylines.
Still hasn't shut down. They still don't have to wear masks, I don't think. Or they do, but they don't wear them.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. Yeah, I saw the announcers at AEW, they weren't wearing masks. And then 2 people were wearing masks, but the 3 other people in the little backstage something weren't. So I don't know what's the point of that. If it's either kind of an all or nothing proposition here.
Yeah,
I'm not sure. I think they get tested every time. I watched Being the Elite, the most recent one. By the way, I hope the Elite turns heel soon. I'm pushing for that. But anyway, they were saying that they test every time they do a show. So I guess every time they're there, they get tested. And I guess if you're negative, then you're good. Even though in the state of Florida, you're supposed to wear a mask to go anywhere, according to government regulations.
That reminds me, Renee Young got tested positive for COVID-19. So did
we didn't talk about that?
No, because I think that happened in June, and that's why John Moxley couldn't like wrestle.
Yeah, he chose not to come to the show because he didn't. Yeah, I don't know if he just didn't want to endanger anyone or wanted to be with the wife. So yeah, those two have it. Apparently, Lana, who you guys hate, her mom has it.
I saw. Wait, no, you tried to start a beef with Lana last week.
Oh yeah, you're right. I don't like you either, Lana.
I thought you closed.
Oh, you guys said she was weird, but anyway.
She's weird, man. She dances weird, man. It's weird.
Easy recovery to her mother.
Serious. Especially, man, if someone's mom or grandparents get it, then or aunt or uncle, then you're kind of gotta worry. Yeah, because anyone over.
Yeah, I don't know what's up with Renee and what's the girl's name?
Kayla Braxton or Kaylee Braxton.
One of those two. Her. Yeah, hopefully they recover soon.
How are they doing COVID tests now? They still do the thing where they put the
they just put it
up your nostril.
Up your nose. Yeah. They do it both nostrils too.
What way that do both?
Yeah, but I guess so. When I did it, they didn't do it all up in your nostril. They just did it in your nostril, just like.
Oh really? Oh.
But I've seen the ones where they go way up into your brain. So I don't know what the difference is. I don't know if the deeper. I don't know if you have symptoms they go. I don't know. I don't think anyone knows.
Yeah, it seems that's scary, man. It seems like something. It's the biggest story of our lifetime, probably. It's the biggest story of the year, and we still don't know all the facts. And we're
what? Is that the test?
Yeah.
Lick this crystal rock. Okay.
All right.
I don't know.
Do I have it? Well, I don't know. Why'd you lick the rock?
Yeah.
Right now. Oh man, you're an asshole. Never coming back to the CVS. The Walgreens.
Too good.
Oh man, that's kind of disturbing. Yeah, still don't know what's going on. They canceled SummerSlam, or not canceled. They moved it back into the Performance Center.
They finally conceded.
Yeah.
Vince McMahon realized that he's not God, and that sometimes you have to bow to your sensei, because he was really pushing for that live audience show. I think he really was gonna try to make it happen. I don't know how he was gonna do that. And I think they've let some of the fans that are in the audience are family members or something. of some of these guys on, I don't know if it's
I think that's
AEW or
before like they had the COVID rush inside W. I think that might have caused the COVID rush. in
probably
WWE
what
by
it
letting
was.
fans in, yeah.
That or people going out places, when bars were open for that like 3
Especially in
weeks.
Florida, man.
Yeah, people were going out, going to the beach. There's no containment of this virus at all. There's no cure, but let's just all go hang out in a public gathering, all of us at once. We don't know who has it and who doesn't. No big deal.
Hey, lick this rock, stranger. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
lick this rock.
Pass it on.
Pass it on.
It lasted for like a good month for when everyone took it seriously for like a month, maybe 5 weeks, and then people got antsy. Then people started protesting, and then states started opening up, and it was like end of April, beginning of May. But I remember like when this first started, like when we recorded our episodes, like when everything shut down in March, like oh everything will be back by June. Everything will be like okay. We were literally predicting that, not just us, but like everyone. Like oh, you know what? Just let it ride out. Everything will be back by June. NBA will be back. Baseball will be back. Hockey, yada yada yada. Everything will be back. Just don't worry about it. It'll be back in June. Then look, now we're in July, and we're pretty much where we are in March. Cases are still going up in most states.
Worse. We had the worst rise in cases like yesterday.
And somehow we're still in the first wave. We haven't even gotten to the second wave.
I don't know, man. I don't know. That's scary, man. I thought, when are we gonna get to this? If this is the first wave, how long is the second wave gonna be?
Yeah, I thought we were already in the second wave, bros.
I thought it was over. I'm going to the bars and sharing my rock.
Creepy guy with a rock in his pocket, man.
Right? Come on, man. Don't wear the mask. It's stupid.
Oh, yeah, there's people protesting the mask, too.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that they are, in fact, somehow protecting us. I don't know how, but I think that they are.
It's the same reason, like, surgeons wear masks during when they're doing surgery, man. They don't want to get people, don't want to, like, contaminate stuff. It's the same.
They don't want to contaminate the patient.
Yeah, the mask is not about protecting you. It's about protecting those around you. And I think people are still arguing that. Like, I don't want to wear a mask. It's not going to protect me. We know it's not going to protect you. We want to protect those around you if you go to a public place, if you're going to the grocery store, if you're at the gas station or whatever. But
that's a symbol of oppression, man. You can't tell me what to do. I'm a human, man.
People say.
Rock, bro.
If they start putting on masks, then they're gonna start taking our rocks, and then they're gonna
right.
That's literally people's logic. I mean,
right.
Not to get political, but yeah, like then they'll take our guns, and then we'll be forced to stay inside forever, and they'll turn into a sci-fi movie just because we wear masks.
My choice, my body, man. Pro-choice.
Yeah.
Pro-choice now, man, but not with other things that I don't agree with. Not in my echo chamber, man.
Your echo chamber.
I love this guy, man.
When did you have time to build an echo chamber?
That was just.
I thought you were pro-choice, bro.
But my logic, man. I don't care about people dedicate their lives to science and facts. Facts are dumb.
It is people argue with, like, it is like people arguing like on your Facebook page or on Twitter.
Oh yeah.
About like arguing against doctors. It's like I don't know. It feels like if you're like if you're like in a law case and you're just on Twitter arguing against a lawyer, you kind of like, hey man, I don't know much about law. I didn't study law, or I'm not an accountant, so I'm gonna lean to my accountant to do my taxes. I'm gonna go to my lawyer if I'm in legal trouble. I'm gonna go to my doctor about medical questions, but. Apparently, in this day and age, like everyone's an expert on everything. If you have a Twitter account, if you have a Facebook profile, I'm an expert, man. I can spread information. I can have a hot take, and it's just like, oh man.
How could you trust any of those things, man?
But my buddy who barely passed high school, it says this. I don't. But then all these other doctors and all these scientists, or whatever nerds. Like, but my buddy in high school, man, who I don't talk to at all, but he knows best, man.
Here's what the doctors and nurses need to get: better memes. I think the conspiracy theorists and the people who are against masks have really good memes, and that's like really good shareable content on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. The doctors, they're not doing memes. They're studying science and they're actually helping patients, and the nurses are out in the front lines. They don't have
for memes. Look at these beakers, dude, and I gotta do these measurements and do these calculations. I don't have time for that crap. Dude, I don't have the bandwidth for that. The mental bandwidth to handle memes. That's how you want to learn? That's how you Jamokals want to learn? Oh my god.
What's a Jamokel? Just kidding.
Jamokel. It's a very scientific word. It's the Hippocratic Oath and Jamokals. It's two words I know.
No harm, even to Jamokals, right?
Oh no, I was just curious. I've never heard such a term.
Oh gosh.
I was gonna have you guys deleted any like Facebook friends or unfollowed people on Twitter or Instagram for being crazy or just like people have come out of the woodwork. Yeah, see, people have come out of the woodworks these past months. It's like
I deleted Facebook off my phone and I've been the mental clarity honestly like has been because literally every time I'd open it up it'd be somebody getting beat up, somebody yelling at a retail worker, somebody getting beat up, somebody yelling at another person for whatever reason, just ignorant nonsense. And it's like you try to like, again, bring it back to Key and Peele. Like you try to have a conversation via text and it's or via typing or whatever, and all context is lost. And it just, to me, I was like, this is dumb. Like, I am literally arguing with strangers that don't give a crap. They're not going to give a crap. They're not going to change their minds.
Yeah.
And, you know, there's so much other work to be, done that fighting with, you know, again, the proverbial old friend from high school that, you know, whatever. It's stupid.
Coworker from 7 jobs ago.
Right? Like, why are we still friends? Like, why, dude? I don't know. Just no, like
TC Luigi's Pizza Delivery Man. Back in high school.
God, why are you so racist, TC Luigi's Pizza Delivery Man?
I'm glad we liked Metallica at the time, but dude, I'm old now and I have a kid and I get hangovers and my back hurts. And, you know, like, bro, I don't got time for your "don't tread on me" nonsense. Like, how about you just wear your damn mask and take a civics lesson, learn about being a responsible citizen because that's good, and you know, read a freaking book. Like,
cereal.
It's like, yeah, man. There's so
God,
yeah, that's probably a good comment. There's like so many times where I'm gonna comment on this text thread of everybody, this post, everyone arguing and stuff, and put my 2 cents in. I'm like, why, man? It's like you're yelling at a wall, man, and you're not gonna change anyone's mind. Like, no matter what, like if I put the most eloquent comment with just the right emojis and the perfect GIF at the end, and like I'm not gonna. It's just like. Put all that energy and like export all my energy onto that like little phone screen. It's just like I'm not gonna change anyone's mind. It's just like yelling at a wall. So I'm like I'm just gonna delete it or not. Like don't do anything. Yeah.
It's like convincing someone that a $5 hot and ready is good after 7 minutes.
Right? People argue about that, man. People say they'll argue 8. No, then some people come and argue no, it's actually 6. And some will argue no, actually it's Trump. Trump did it.
I just don't comment. I have times where I want to say something and then I think of the aftermath. I'm like, I could say one little thing and this will just trickle into a million things. So I just look at the conversations and then I'm like, wow, this is a really stupid conversation in the midst of everything going on right now. Like, why are we arguing about whether or not Cam Newton will be successful with the Patriots or whether or not he was trash before? Who really cares right now?
Right.
You know, and I'm just like, I'd rather not say anything because I feel like if I say something, someone's going to find this and have a comment. And then it's going to be back and forth and we're not going to get anywhere at the end of the day. So
see, that's the tough thing. It's like the double-edged sword is like, well, you should be having these conversations and trying to have, you know, a civil conversation. And it's like, well, hold on. Most people don't want to have a civil conversation because to Tommy's point as before, I got all this information on my phone. Like I could just look it up and I know everything. So don't tell me what I already know and don't tell me what I don't know because I don't know what I don't know. And what I don't know is more than what I do know. But when I have to know what I don't know, then I'll just magically pull it from the air and be right about it. Like it's so
I don't think Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter were made for like these like deep in-depth discussions. They were not made. These platforms are created, they were not meant for that. They were meant to connect with your friends. Twitter more of a news thing, Instagram share photos, but they've turned into is like the public forum, public debate where everyone gets on the one side and the person gets on the other side and everyone just debates. But it wasn't meant for that, man. It's like totally, it's not built for that. I think it's kind of all like crumbling even more in the last couple months.
Facebook was made for college students being able to share their drunken nights and unmitigated debauchery that they couldn't put on MySpace, right? Okay. That's what Facebook was built. Facebook was not built to be this like social or this like civil platform, right? But again, everybody, I think once they allowed like parents and grandparents to be a part of Facebook, that was like the demise of it. Because and I mean, and I kind of say that like facetiously because it's like everybody's got an opinion, right? You know, but
everyone has an opinion, but everyone doesn't need to hear your opinion, and that's what
right?
Facebook has given that platform. Everyone's got a megaphone now, or you know what? Like 10, 15 years, everyone does not need a megaphone. That's the reason for that's not everyone's walking down the street with megaphones yelling their hot takes while they're walking through Target or having a nice Sunday jog to the park.
On the flip side, though, being that everybody does have this megaphone and a camera now, like obviously, like public shaming is huge now. Like now it's, you know, shame, throw fruit and vegetable or rotten fruit at people. Or now it's like you get caught doing something really dumb. That's it. You lose your job. Like you lose your career. You lose. And
unless your name is Todd Phillips.
But
SmackDown announcer.
But obviously, if you're doing something like
Tom
really
Phillips?
technical,
yeah, it's Tom Phillips.
Oh, Tom Phillips,
it's good old Ted Phillips.
Ted Phillips. Screw that guy. Screw Ted Phillips. No, but I'm just saying, like, nowadays it's like being that everybody does have this camera and uses social media for, you know, finding things are wrong, right? Like that in and of itself, I think, is a good accountability piece. Yeah. Obviously, it's like pretty gnarly, but. You know, for example, a guy that just goes off on somebody at Costco for asking him to wear a mask. And it's like, bro, like, did you not think for a second that the minute you're on this camera acting like a complete a-hole towards somebody else is like you're not going to have repercussions for that? Like, come on, man, think about it. Like, why?
Like, the internet found him quick, man. The internet, he was like an insurance person. He got fired.
What was this? This is a guy that worked at Costco, or he worked?
No. He was at Costco. He's some insurance guy or whatever, but he's at Costco, and some lady's telling him like, "You should put your mask on," and he's like, "You're threatening me. You're threatening. I can't believe like f you. Like eat S and die in a fire, like, whatever. Like there's all this nasty stuff, and she's just like filming him, and he's like, "Yeah, you filming me? Blah blah blah," and just like goes off like a complete asshole, complete. Total jackass, totally unwarranted to act towards anybody, any citizen. And dude, Twitter was like, "What's this guy? Who is this guy?" And immediately, everybody was like sharks circling blood in the water, and immediately found the guy and was like, "Oh, he works for this insurance company and blah blah blah." And then somebody was like, "Owner of the insurance company, what do you think about this?" And then within minutes, basically, or within a short amount of time. Yeah, we don't condone this at all. This doesn't represent our business or company. Dude's been terminated. Like, say la vie, you know? Yeah,
man. That Twitter account for the insurance company had like 600 followers, and they don't really tweet much, but they had to come on Twitter and like address that because they're this dude. But I think that you did point out a good point that holds people accountable, man. Like, I always talk about like what was happening before we had camera phones. Like, what kind of atrocities did we miss out on because someone wasn't recording it right at that very, very second, man? Like, what's like... I mean, I think that's kind of scary, man. Like 10, 15 years ago, like, or 20 years ago, like what, like, turns out like people harassing other people, police brutality, people generally being assholes to each other, violence against one another. Like, what did we miss out on? Because we didn't have a freaking high definition camera in our pocket. Everyone walking around with a high definition camera in our pocket and access to the internet where you can upload it as soon as you're done filming. So,
dude, just ask any retail worker or any service worker 10, 15 years ago, they'll tell you, like, before cameras, man, people would just be so unruly and total Karens all the time. And it's, but it would just be like, Yeah, just like, oh, this person came in, acted like a total jackass, and kicked him out of the store, and that was it. But now it's like, yeah, who are you? Like, who
Yeah.
are you, person? Like, yeah, keep telling me I'm a jackass. Like, yeah, like you're on the camera now. Like, you're fired. You're gonna get fired now. Like, that's it. Congratulations.
That's the
You're
biggest threat to people's livelihood is that camera phone. You know,
man.
you
But
can't
again,
do anything.
That's
you
good
kind
though.
of
I think
like,
that's like 'cause you're good.
right?
It's a double-edged sword. Like we're playing with
Yeah.
the. I mean, that's what's good. The good thing about social media, a good thing about Twitter and Facebook, like the Black Lives Matter movement, like that took off from a camera phone footage, and then just like everyone organizing stuff, the protest, and being able to see like what the protest looks like just through people's cameras, man. Like being on the front lines and seeing police brutality and like police in riot gear and everyone organizing all through cities. Like, yeah, so I mean that is like a good thing about social media because you would never have that access. You would just have to watch the news and wait till 10 o'clock or 6 o'clock at night and see what they filter to you. But now we could just unfilter it ourselves, which is awesome.
It's pretty nuts. So you know, with that being said, like society is evolving very rapidly, and you know, with the advent of having these cameras and stuff, you have to hold yourself to a higher standard, and because everybody's watching, you know. There's a rap song that comes to my mind, "The Watcher" or something like that. I think Dr. Dre. I don't know, maybe it's probably totally. It's just, sorry, like,
how the hell did you pull that out of your
No, that's
random synapse, dude. Just like there's a beat in my head. Where's that? Oh yeah, it's The Watcher. Oh, it's a Dr. Dre song. That song's sick. But no, the whole idea that like you're always being watched, right? So be on your best behavior. Be on your best behavior. Wear your damn mask. Be on your best behavior. It's not about you. It's about protecting other people. You know, and so yeah, so I think that the idea that our society is evolving and changing and having access to cameras and being able to see things in real time, like that's really powerful, especially for, you know, different movements and such. It's like it's about time, right? And I think too, when you were talking about like having to wait till like the 10 o'clock news or the 6 o'clock news, it made me think like, well, what were you like? Were times more peaceful? Like, is ignorance bliss before 10 o'clock?
I think ignorance was bliss. Like, yeah, man. Like we just didn't know any better, man.
Right. But now it's like we can turn it off, right? So the idea of like me deleting Facebook from my phone is like I'm still gonna get news, right? I love Twitter for curating my own news feed. And for my work, I'm always reading myriad of different articles and publications and such. So I get my fill of it, but you know, the idea that like we can turn it on and off whenever we need to is, you know, I think being able to shut our brains off to it, not completely, but you know, to I guess what I'm trying to say is like allow yourself some inner peace and deleting things and removing things that are just toxic to your mental sanity. It's like. So
I think when you talked about that in the beginning of the COVID thing, man, like we're just like beaten down by it. We're like, I was trying to figure out my balance. Like, how much should I read about COVID? Like, when everything's like shutting down, everything's like, was like filling my brain too much of like information overload? I had to take like, I remember I had to like literally like step back and stop reading about COVID news for like a couple of days and just like read about video games, read about comics, read about anything else, and just try to avoid it because I was just like, I was freaking myself out, man, about like too much information. Just like every time I'd open Twitter or go anywhere, it would just be like a different COVID news, a different like something like that, more cases popping up, and you just had to like, you had to figure out that balance for yourself.
Yeah, no, it's crazy, wacky stuff. What final thoughts do we have on pro wrestling stuff? We're coming up to the hour here.
Theron? A recap, man, or a weekend update of you fill everything up in 2 minutes?
I can't really ruin anything, you know.
Don't ruin it, dude. I want to watch.
Are you watching AEW?
Quab or no Gab?
Gab? AEW?
AEW is the 5th Fighter Festival.
Care about what happened on there or not really?
You know, sometimes okay, so my TNT app keeps goofing on my phone, so
yeah, it does that.
Stopped watching the AEW content simply because I don't know, it kept goofing, and I was like, I'll deal with this later, and then I just kind of was like, no, I'm not dealing with this. So I have no idea what's going on in AEW except that I think Chris Jericho is still the greatest of all time of our generation.
He's in a feud with Orange Cassidy.
He's in a feud with Orange Cassidy. He took Orange Cassidy's Orange Cassidy kicks, which are like the most devastating move ever in AEW history. like very lazy sloth-like kicks,
King
followed
of
by a
soft
super
style.
kick. Yeah, soft style. Taz is Brian Cage's, like, I guess Paul Heyman, but not as good as Paul Heyman. Maybe Brian Cage isn't a good promo. He brought back the FTW title and put it on Brian Cage immediately tonight, live on Fighter Fest Night 2.
That's cool, man. I like when wrestlers make their own belts. Just like pronounced. I think that's cool.
So he brought it back. He gave it to Cage because Mox is, coming next week. So it's going to be champion versus champion. Not much else really. I mean, they had a lot of filler matches. FTR.
How's the Revival doing?
They lost. They did an 8-man tag. They teamed up with the Young Bucks, who I guess they're feuding with, but they lost against like the Butcher and the Blade and I forgot the other team.
Phoenix and Pentagon.
Yeah. So they lost that match. Probably add to their little feud with the Bucks, which is why I think the Elite should turn heel and they should kick Hangman out, and then they should just have Kenny and the Bucks be heels. What else is going on? Not much, Mox is still champ.
Adam Cole might go to AEW to be with his wife Britt Baker.
Is that a true rumor, or is that like?
I saw it on Twitter, man. Because like you said, you mentioned his contract's up in August, which would be insane, man. I mean, that'd be. I can see it happening, but then I can see it not happening because, like,
oh, what a devastating blow to NXT if they can't hold on to Adam
What
Cole.
else? What else would he do? I
don't know, man.
He's been champion for like a year and a half or whatever, 400 days now. So, yeah, he might go. Well, his wife's
the
on
best
the show.
faction, man. Won the tag belts, won North American title, won. Yeah, what else is there to do? Won some War Games. I mean,
yeah, he has a good documentary thing on like 3 hours or something like that.
Wow.
He gets all of his matches. Adam Cole and NXT. So first it starts out with the War Games, and then it goes to like him winning the North American Championship, and then him fighting Ricochet, and so that's really good. Is Dr. Britt Baker his wife, or that they were just dating?
That's his.
Oh, they're dating.
His girlfriend. They're
okay.
serious. Yeah, they.
But still, yeah.
They play Twitter barbs, or she at least talks about him.
That's good.
She's doing good heel work on AEW. She's a heel. She recruited a former Impact wrestler, I think, Rebby Sky. I think that's her name. I don't know her name. I think that's who it is, though. I'm pretty sure it's her. What else? Heath Slater was on Raw.
I did see his promo.
He's buff, man. He's buff, man.
He's real big. He's probably going to show up in Impact somehow with Gallows and Anderson and Eric Young and all those fun people. I don't know.
EC3.
Oh, yeah. Impact. I don't know where EC3 is going to go. He had like an AEW banner in the back of his last promo video, but so he's going to Impact. I guess you can do whatever you want when you're a free agent. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
All right.
I don't really have anything crazy. Yeah, there's nothing real big to talk about. The New Day are still the tag team champions somehow.
The new U.S. belt has a penis on it.
Yes.
Once you said that, I saw it and I was like, "Oh no, cannot see it."
I mean, you gotta like really. Well,
you have to work for it. Yeah, I think you do. I mean, I don't know. I hate that people said it though, man. Like, why do you have to?
I didn't even know that. I was like, damn, how did you? I was like, I guess pro wrestling Twitter. That's
man. I'm telling you, man.
Twitter gives you everything.
Stuck. I was like, hey. 7 months.
Yeah. Did you see the new U.S. title? Oh yeah, it has a penis on it. Wait, what?
No.
I didn't even get to look at it all the way. It looks kind of cool, I guess, for a new U.S. title. It looks cool.
Why change it? I think
I think you need to change it. Yeah.
Why? Why did it need to be changed?
Because it was like small and
No, it looked cool, dude. It had the same like design as the WWE Championship title, and like the big flag in the background was cool. Like I thought that was a cool looking title.
Well, now it has an eagle on it that looks like a penis.
Yeah, right. Like they changed the IC title for whatever reason.
I don't know why they.
IC title is perfect too, man, with the white strap and the gold. Why did they change it? I don't know.
It's so ugly now.
Yeah. I'm kind of coming around to the women's tag belts because they have the white strap now.
Yeah, I like those. Yeah. Those are cool. Those are on Bailey Doe straps, and I forgot Sasha Banks's 2 title name, but it's a thing in the works. Yeah.
I've come around to Heel Bailey, man. I've come around to
me too.
I was really, listened to the 6 months ago. Yeah, or even 3 months ago. Yeah, man, she's doing good work. I'm pleasantly surprised.
I dig it.
Her and Sasha Banks are doing good stuff. They got some good promos. They're funny. They get on the mic in the middle of matches and talk trash. You know, they always find a way to win or lose.
They always abuse Michael Cole, which I appreciate.
Yeah, it's like Britt Baker and Tony Schiavone.
Britt Baker, Tony Schiavone. Yeah, that's true. Actually, that's funny too. Actually,
See, there's some good stuff in wrestling, even in the midst of a pandemic with fake fans.
True, man. Yeah, that's true. It's got to dig a little deeper. You come to Theron's recap every Wednesday on Bros for Elbows. You'll find some positivity.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, that being said, you've been listening to the Bros Before Elbows Pro Wrestling Podcast. Subscribe on iTunes, on Podbean, on Twitter, on Facebook, on YouTube, all of those channels we are on. Definitely join in the conversation and share the show with a friend.
Elbow drop your friends, people, and wear a mask while you do it.
Yes, I prefer Arizona with a mask.